has Bluetooth 4.1, I believe, but it does work, and it works okay. But I do have a tendency sometimes, I notice that it has a glitch in it, to where sometimes when I have Bluetooth headphones connected, sometimes when I unpower off those Bluetooth headphones, the device does not recognize that I powered off said Bluetooth headphones, and it does not engage the external speakers. So let's say I'm watching Netflix or something and my headphones die, my video will keep playing, but no sound. And I go to press the volume, and the volume works no problem, but the phone still thinks it has Bluetooth connected, so you'll have Bluetooth volume, even though there is no Bluetooth connected. Okay, but one fix that I found for that is that you just toggle on and off airplane mode, and you should be good to go. But other than that, the Bluetooth on here works okay. So in terms of Bluetooth, I'd have to give the W to the Blu Vivo 5R, because it just works, and it works straight out of the box, and there's no issues with it. So that's that there. Next thing I want to talk about with you guys now is the GPS on both of these guys. And again, I have to say, this is where both of these guys work extremely well. Now, in terms of GPS on either device, you're going to have no problems. No problems whatsoever on either device. Now, it's going to link up within seconds, and everything that uses the GPS should work no problems. Turn by turn, Google navigation, anything that needs to use the GPS is going to work no problem, and it's going to lock on within seconds. So, in terms of the GPS support on both of these devices, I would have to say it's a tie across the board for both of these devices. Regardless of which device you choose to pick up, in terms of the GPS, it's just going to work no problem. And y'all know this is an extremely important section for me, because I am very GPS dependent. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Now, moving on, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is phone call quality and speaker call quality when it comes to phone calls. Now, again, I would have to say that these two devices are the same when it comes to this category. Now, both the receivers work no problem. I had no issues hearing callers, and they had no issues hearing me on the other end. It came through very loud, crisp, and clear. Now, that being said, when it comes to speaker calls, they work no problem. I just found that I prefer that they get a touch louder. And keep in mind, this is in my opinion. I may just be getting old. I may just be going deaf. Who knows? Too much headphone usage has a tendency to kill anybody's ears. So it is what it is. But speaking in terms of call quality and speaker call quality, I would have to say, again, this is a tie across the board, and you should not have any issues with it. Now, keeping it moving, the next thing I want to talk about with you guys is the cameras and the camera interfaces on both of these. Alright, let's start off with the Moto X PE edition, because this is the cleanest, simplest, and most straightforward. Now, talking about the cameras. Now, I already covered some of this on the hardware section, but you have a 21 megapixel camera in the back with LED flash, and it's capable of recording 4K video and 720p slow motion, as well as 1080p video recording. In the front, you can capture 1080p videos and 720p slow motion, and you have a 5 megapixel front facing camera, again with LED flash. Now, talking about the camera interface, I'd have to say this is probably one of the simplest and easiest camera interfaces to date. Now, Motorola has since updated their camera interface and added more things, but in my opinion, this is one of the easiest and most straightforward camera interfaces to use. Now, there's several ways to get into this. You can use your Moto gesture, quick twist of the wrist. Alright, if you're on your lock screen, you can swipe in from the side, launch you straight in. Now you can see I have two camera apps. That's why it asked me which one I want to use. So we're just going to go back to the stock camera app here. If you want to take a photo, it's as simple as tapping on the screen. Alright, to get to more options, you slide in from the side there and you can see you have HDR, you have controls for your flash, and you have resolution controls. So you can see right there, it's capable again of shooting videos at 1080p, 720p slow motion, and 4K 2160p. Alright, now in terms of the megapixel count here, you can shoot widescreen, but you're going to lose megapixels, and it's going to be bumped to 16.1 megapixels. But widescreen, in my opinion, is the one you want to go with, because you get that more widescreen cinematic approach. But if you do want to take full advantage of all 21 megapixels on this guy, you're going to have to shoot in that 4:3 aspect ratio. And as you guys see, it does have a tendency to make it more boxed off and letterboxy, as you can see real time as I switch between them. But if you do want to take full advantage of the 21 megapixel camera, you will have to shoot in that 4:3 aspect ratio. Other things, you have a built-in timer here and all that good stuff. So it's pretty much very simple and very straightforward. Now, if you're in the camera app and you want to go to the front, again, it's just simple as another twist of the wrist and you're into the front-facing camera here, which again is 5 megapixels. How you doing, guys? And you got your front-facing flash there as well. Now, again, it's same as the rear. You swipe in from the side to access your settings. So you have HDR, controls for your flash, controls for what you want to shoot. So you can shoot 1080p videos and 720p slow motion. Now, again, similar to the rear-facing camera, if you want to take full advantage of all 5 megapixels, you're going to have to shoot in that 4:3 aspect ratio. If you want to shoot in that widescreen aspect ratio, you're going to have to bump it down to 3.8 megapixels to get that nice crispy 16:9. So it is what it is. Alright. So that's the cameras and the overall camera interface on the Moto X PE Edition. And really, in my opinion, using this phone and these cameras for as long as I have, you're going to get some really, really good photos and some really, really good videos. And 9 times out of 10, when you snap a photo, it's going to be really, really good. So there's going to be really no need to snap a photo over and over, at least in my opinion, to get the one you like. Because it should work, and you're going to get a really good quality shot straight out the box. Launch the camera, you tap it, you go. If you want to take a video, it's just as simple as tapping the corner, and you go straight into taking video there. So it is what it is there. So that's the cameras and the camera interface on the Moto X PE Edition. Alright, now jumping over to the Blu Vivo 5R, you have a more traditional smartphone camera interface here. So you have your shutter button when you jump right into it, and you can see you can swipe between your Pro mode, your regular photo mode, your beauty face mode, and your video. Alright, these are just my recently used modes here, so that's why they show up at the bottom. Out of the box, what you're really going to see is photo, beauty face, and video. Now, to get into more of your modes, you're going to hit this little icon up here, and you can see you got HDR, you got nighttime, you got panorama, you got professional mode, which really lets you dial in the settings pretty much how you would like. You got time lapse, you got slow-mo, which again records slow motion at 720p. You got smart scene, you got text recognition, you got macro shot, you swipe over, you got GIF creation, you got pic note, you got ultra pixel mode, and you got barcode scanning. Now, out of the box, the Moto X PE Edition, because I just remembered, it has built-in barcode scanning in the camera app. So there's no need to switch to that mode. It's going to recognize the barcode and pull it up for you right out the box. Now, you will need to jump over into barcode mode to get that to work in the Blu Vivo 5R. So that's all of your modes in the Blu Vivo 5R. Then again, you have access to your flash, so you can control that. You can jump between your front-facing 8-megapixel camera and your rear-facing camera by pushing that icon there. And you can get into the rest of your settings by pushing on the little gear there. So you have geotagging, anti-shake. You can mute the microphone on the device. You can control your scene modes, which is pretty much auto and nighttime straight out of the box here. Other things, this is also where you can change your video resolutions. Again, this is a 13 megapixel in the rear, which can record videos at up to 1080p at 30 frames a second and 720p slow motion. Alright, so that's that there. You can choose your storage locations, so you can make it internal storage or your micro SD card, and you can restore all the default settings back to stock there. Alright, so that's pretty much the camera interface on the Blu Vivo 5R. Okay? And again, it's pretty much similar for the front-facing camera as well, except for with the front-facing camera, you cannot shoot 720p slow-mo or take advantage of your professional mode. If you do have access to those, but if you use those, it's going to take you back to the rear-firing camera. So as you see, I'm going to tap on it. It's going to flip me back to the rear-firing camera. So you don't have access to those in the front-firing camera. But you still can record some very nice 720p video and take some very good shots with the front-facing cameras. Alright, so that's the cameras on the Blu Vivo 5R. Now, you guys may be wondering, in my opinion, who wins in the cameras category? First off, overall, I have to tell you guys that in terms of camera performance, you know, strictly point and shoot, these cameras are really, really good. Really good. And you're not going to have an issue with either camera. Okay? You're going to get some really good video and some really good photos on either camera. If you want to check out the photo samples, please follow me on Google+. If you want to check out the video samples on either of these devices, please check out my video samples playlist on YouTube. Now, that being said, when it comes to the camera interface, I'm going to have to give it to the Moto X Pure Edition. At least to me, it's more user-friendly and there's less of a learning curve out the box. It's more point and shoot, and again, more user-friendly. And that also being said, you do have access to your better shooting modes in the Moto X Pure Edition. Again, not by much. The only differentiating factor between the two is that you have professional mode on this guy. You don't have professional mode on here, but you can shoot 4K videos on this guy. You cannot shoot 4K videos on this guy, but you can shoot the same 720p slow motion on either of these cameras. Okay? So that's how I feel about the cameras and the camera interfaces on both of these devices. Now, in terms of interface, the Moto X Pure Edition wins. In terms of overall performance in general, you're going to have pretty much good performance on either of these cameras. If I had to choose one though, it's going to have to go to the Moto X Pure Edition. Because, again, as I've said, you just have the better quality camera and more video resolutions to shoot at. And the learning curve, again, is a lot easier and it's more user-friendly, more point and shoot. So that's my opinion on both of the cameras and the camera interfaces on both of these devices. Now, moving on, this would be the section where I tell you about the gaming. Now, in the interest of time, I'm not going to give you a gaming demo. I'm just going to talk about it. Now, this is pretty much the two games that I've become addicted to when I test my smartphones. That is CSR Classics and Asphalt 8.